Understanding the stock market is absolutely vital, but of course it's increasingly complex in a world where Donald Trump gets out of bed the wrong side and of course the markets change. Right now we're seeing that there's a complete change in direction. Just over a week ago people said that Donald Trump wouldn't negotiate. It was a hard stance, it was going to put in tariffs on everybody and it was extreme. Then all of a sudden Wednesday night came and Donald Trump changed his mind. Pulls on tariffs over 10%. In other words, there's still a universal tariff, but the extra tariffs he's going to negotiate for 90 days, except for China. And then, of course, guess what? Sunday comes along and we wake up to find that Donald Trump, Saturday night in America, has changed his mind again. He said that computers, so Apple, Nvidia, those types of companies, all of a sudden are exempt. Wow, what's happening? Okay, when you're investing your money, you've got to realise, particularly right now, you need to invest in quality companies. If you invest in quality companies, they will adapt, they will change direction. Trying to guess the market is increasingly difficult, and trying to guess what Donald Trump's going to do, of course, it's virtually impossible. So what do? Okay, well, when you're looking at stock, realise last week the stock market actually had a record increase. Of course, the previous week was a fall, but when we look at the market, it was actually up last week from Wednesday, nearly 10%. That's an incredible, of course, return. Longer term, just think, what's going to happen? AI is going to win. So companies that are using AI, companies like Meta, companies like Apple, they're likely to do well. Nvidia, if it can keep its competitive advantage, is likely to do extremely well. But then, of course, we've also got another interesting situation. Necessity. Germany, it's woken up. All of a sudden, it's going to be investing, borrowing money to invest in its infrastructure. Suddenly, Europe has decided that it needs to compete. China, of course, is in a situation whereby Donald Trump has said massive tariffs. And of course, China has reacted and said, okay, right, let's stare you down. Let's see what we can do. They, of course, can reduce their currency. They can make sure they're adding money because they've got huge reserves. They can be on the attack. The rest of the world, of course, can gain from the current situation. So when you're investing, don't forget, companies, like individuals should be, can adapt. They're resilient. They always make sure that ultimately they win. Okay, if you're investing right now, I'd always suggest talk to a professional financial advisor. Why? They can guide you, but if you're investing your own personal money, take care. On suddenly fixed yield is higher than normal. Also, then invest in things that are going to be the future regardless. And that's the word. Whatever happens, politicians, they're actually to some extent confined by the market. You see, Donald Trump changed his mind when the market was falling, particularly the bond market. So whilst politicians may think they can do what they like, actually in today's world, the financial market stops them doing extremes. Because all of a sudden, if interest rates in America or American borrowing becomes too expensive, Donald Trump realises he's got to back off. There's actually power in the markets, and there's power in knowledge. Power in making sure you follow and you know what the best investments are. Okay, I'll keep you up to date on a regular basis, but don't worry about volatility. Actually concentrate on quality and the long-term investments.